So hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for joining this session all across the globe. And we are here in Bangalore, joining in from Bangalore, enjoying nice weather, rainy weather here. Hope everyone are enjoying their weekend, and thank you for making your time to join in for this session. And today we are here for attending an AWS Solution Architect free live masterclass. So myself, Chaitra, I'm part of Knowledgehut, working as a business manager, and I would be here host for this 1.5 hour of session for today. And we would be having with us our expert trainer, Praveen Tej, who is an experienced technology professional and a cloud computing faculty. He is a regular trainer for most of the MNCs and working with few of the training companies, organizations like us, Knowledgehut. And he is a mentor for many of the engineering graduates, and most of the thing is he values training and he is committed to quality upskilling. That is what I could say for your trainer for today. And for today's session, just as a heads up, we will be having two quiz, which would be first one at the start and then one we'll be having at the end of the session. And we would be having an exciting gifts announced for the guys who has made a fastest finger first, who has answered the quiz first. So we would be sending an exciting gift for those winners. So before getting it too very late, I would hand over this to Praveen, and maybe we will just have one start quiz. I don't know if we should start it off now only, Praveen, because I see many of them joining in still. Maybe you can just start it off. I would just pause you in between just to have one quiz.
Yeah, I think, Chaitra, we can start with the quiz.
Yeah.
We can ask the question. The first question is anyway basic. So,
yeah, thank you. So here it is. Which of the following is not a cloud platform? Awesome. We are getting so many fastest answers. Okay, I think we are good to go. I'm just going to end the poll. Thank you guys for the participation, and wait till last to get the winners announced, and we'll be having one more at the end of the session. So wait for it. Over to you, Praveen.
yeah, thank you, Chaitra. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good evening, guys. Welcome to the session. And it's so nice to see you all. Such a huge registration and so much participation. I thank you all for taking your time out. It's going to be, a very good session. It's going to be a worthy session. I'm sure you'll like this session. Okay, so let's start off. Just to introduce myself a little bit, thank you, Chaitra, for being so generous about the introduction. So my name is Praveen Tej. I come with 12 years of experience in the industry, and I have previously worked on Java and Python and a few other programming languages. And I started off with cloud later on. So I worked on AWS, Azure, GCP, so various cloud platforms. I also worked on certain DevOps tools like Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, Ansible, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, Grafana, Jira, Scrum, Splunk, all these things. Okay, so I worked on these DevOps tools. I also worked on certain data engineering tools like Git, like ETL tools, everything, Matillion ETL, and so on. Snowflake, Redshift, all these things. I also worked on other technologies like Salesforce and ThoughtSpot and everything. So it's been a very comprehensive experience touching across various technologies. And as a trainer, when I worked as a freelancing, I worked for various companies like Capgemini, Wipro, TCS, EPAM Systems, Mercedes-Benz Research Center. So these are all few MNCs that I have worked with. And coming to edutechs, I work with most of the edutech companies in India. So it's a great time for for upskilling in the country. So I had the fortune to to associate with many edutechs. I really thank the opportunities provided, and they were also very happy. And I also work with university students like Jain University, Chitkara University, Jain in Bangalore, the Kanakpura campus I'm talking about. and Presidency University in Bangalore, Chitkara University from Punjab, and VIT from Vellore and Chennai. So the point I'm trying to put across is I have experience training the freshers, people with 1, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years experience, 15 years experience, and even 20 to 25 years experience. Okay. So I regularly train professionals with 15, 20 years of experience from US and Canadian region, European region, as well as Middle East. Okay. We get a lot of trainings from there, as well as sometimes from Australia and regions of Africa as well. So some edutechs, some ID companies situated, right? So I would like to, share with you that, this has been a great journey for me. It has been a great journey for me to, it's been 400 to 500 trainees, I guess, so far, 20 to 30,000 students that I have reached, and there are a lot more to do, right? The point I'm trying to put across is, what I want to tell here is there is an urge, there is a lot of, people looking out for quality upskilling, right? And when we are understanding, right, when you want to switch your career, when you are trying to move your career from where you are right now to another, technology, which you don't know anything about. So you need somebody, you need someone reliable, you need someone whom you can trust, you need someone who can understand your situation and try to guide you through that, right? It's a uncharted territory, I would say. Okay. So that way, I'm happy and, I'm thankful for the opportunities given by so many companies and edutech and every other people. And I could help a lot of students, right? So that is the thing. We are trying to make a change. So India, being, at a strategic position and a strategic time, right? We have this enormous opportunity, especially in the IT industry. So just to give you a figure, okay, about cloud, because we're all about here AWS cloud. Cloud currently has around 64 million jobs across the globe. All right. We haven't filled these jobs. All right. But we have 64 million as of 2023 today. And this is going to be at least 194 million in 2025. All right. So this is going to be at least twice the demand what you have right now. So just think how much jobs are going to come, right? So in the cloud, the kind of opportunities that are in the cloud, you could have, you might be listening to, you might be, reading about so many, job losses and, so many layoffs across the world, especially in US and Canadian region and European region, right? The people with 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and even 25 years experience working for top MNCs, even for Google and such big companies, okay, they have been, they have to, of course, they're all part of strategy of a company. It's all the decisions that they make. So I mean to say that is how the situation is. But I can tell you, being in the cloud, domain, we could see there are more openings. There are still hirings going on in the cloud, especially in DevOps, all these places, in all these technologies. It is continuously hiring process which is going on even at this point of time. So you can imagine when the industry will be really well in just, I think, another 6 to 8 months of time. I think in this year we could see a much better hiring process from various quarters, right? You should be ready by that time. So if you're starting off something right now with your upskilling program, so focusing on some of the upskilling program, you would be really ready when it is, the industry is ripe and when the hiring is going on with full-fledged, right? Having said that, cloud always has hiring. And I can say that for next 2 to 3 decades, cloud is a platform that is going to be the technology in the IT infrastructure. I will come to it. Technically, I will come to it. You will understand why cloud is so important. But I'm just giving you the facts and figures around the technology that we are discussing today. All right. Now, coming to the core part of it, right? So I've given you my experience. I've given you, the work I have done, everything, and I'm doing, right? So this gives me a lot of satisfaction end of the day to be a trainer. It gives me it gives me a lot of satisfaction. Of course, working also gives me satisfaction, but training, because I'm helping a lot of candidates change their career and, catapult into a career which, they can see a very good growth, unprecedented growth kind of a thing. Every year that you add to your career, you are growing up in scale. You will literally see growth in terms of knowledge, in terms of, your personal financial status in every way, right? So that is why I'm so happy to help you all. And let's get started here. Now, we are all gathered here on AWS Solutions Architect certification. All right. Now, firstly, I would like to share my screen. I have a few things to discuss with you. And this AWS Solutions Architect Certification, along with this, there are many other certifications with AWS is providing, right? We will just have a look into it, and then I will take you through the cloud technology. All right. Now, to just share with you what is cloud. All right. So to tell you many, there is a lot of discussion. I know there is a lot of noise. There is a lot of discussion across the globe about cloud, about machine learning, about AI, about chat GPT, and a lot of things, right? And there is a lot of, you might have heard about, people having fears or having anxiety about what would happen to jobs across AI, jobs across machine learning, all these things. But I think one of the technologies who are not bothered about how will their job be, I think would be cloud definitely. So cloud is a technology which, is not having that threat kind of a thing, as far as current situation is concerned. All right. So now, what is cloud? Let me tell you. Some of you could know this, but I would like to give you different perspectives coming from, the work scenario background, a practical scenario. I would like to give you this. Now, cloud is not an innovative technology. Many people describe like cloud to be an innovative technology or a revolutionary technology as you start speaking about it. No, cloud is not a revolutionary technology. Okay, it is an evolutionary technology. All right, it is a part of evolution, right? So prior to cloud, what was existing? If you just think about it, or if some of you know, or some of industry insiders and experts, they would very well answer you. People whom we refer to as network engineers and infrastructure engineers, these people know better this one. Okay. So prior to cloud, what was existing was on-premises. Okay. On-premises data centers. I would just like to, show you that before we just come here. So you will better understand what I'm about. So when I'm talking about a data center, this is the data center I'm talking about. All right. These are the data centers. Now, please understand, suppose you are in college, right? You are working in your computer labs, all your labs are associated with a server room, right? A data center, a server room is a prototype of a data center. Okay. So in a data center, we have thousands of servers connected together, storage devices connected together, and they are supporting the IT infrastructure. We call this as IT infrastructure. Okay. Generally, what do you mean by infrastructure? We are talking about, good infrastructure for economic growth, everything, right? The roadways, the railways, the buildings, everything we refer to as infrastructure, right? The better the infrastructure, the better will be the economic growth. Similarly, if IT companies should be able to perform their task better, if they should be able to do their job better, if they should be able to execute the project better, then the data centers is very much essential. The data centers are referred to as IT infrastructure. See, how will an IT company generate revenue? They will generate revenue by taking forward the project, executing the project, and so on. Correct? Now, how will this project be working? Right? See, there are hundreds of developers and various other people, admins and a lot of other people connected together. They should be working on one single VPN, right? They should be connected to a VPN, virtual private network, right? If they are located in an office, all these systems are connected as a part of a local connection, local area network, and this is supported by the data center again, right? So the data center, the servers and storage devices in a data center, they help you connecting all these systems together. One thing. Secondly, they will help you connecting them to internet. Thirdly, they'll help you have a virtual storage on the data center, right? A common storage. Okay, so that your team can access, your group can access the project files and related files together from a common source. So this has been a practice from last 2 to 3 decades. So most of the MNCs that you see, most of the IT companies that you see, they have their own data centers in their own premises. All right. Now, to set up a data center, to set up an on-premises data center, it is going to be, a cost-intensive, thing. For example, why? When you're talking about a data center like this, you can tell me, right? What are the essential things of a data center, right? So what do you think? Essential constituents. So first and foremost, I can say we need to have a place. You need to have a large space because data center obviously requires place. So you need to have good amount of space, right? And this place is nothing but a capital investment. Procuring place is a huge cost, right? So we know what is the land cost, everything. So it's going to be a huge cost. You go ask someone, I want to develop a data center, please give me some place. It doesn't work like that. You will have to purchase it, right? You will have to get that. So a place is a huge capital investment. Once you have the place, you will have to develop the infrastructure. Okay. And this infrastructure that I'm talking about is the buildings, the power supply, the water supply. Why are we talking about water supply here? Because please understand the data centers require a lot of water to cool. There are two types of data center servers. Like, I mean, it can be water cooled, it can be air cooled. All right. So it requires good amount of power supply, clean water supply, very, hygienic and, highly refined water supply, and then air conditioning. So, why do we need air conditioning? Is because the servers generate a lot of heat. Okay. And they are very sensitive to dust and other particles as well. Okay. So, since the servers are generating a lot of heat, you can't say that, right? Let me open, let me keep it in the open environment so that the heat will dissipate to outside environment. So thermodynamics, right? Laws of thermodynamics. That doesn't work here. Okay. Because the moment you keep it exposed to outside environment, the alien particles, the dust particles from outside come and settle on the servers. This is going to corrupt the operations of the servers. All right. So there are many such problems and challenges over here. So that is why we will be looking at air conditioning. So this entire thing of infrastructure, buildings, power supply, water supply, everything comes again with capital investment, right? Thirdly, to set up this data center, what we require here, apart from place and infrastructure, we will be looking for the machinery, and the machinery consists of the servers and the storage devices and many other components. It's not just the servers and storage devices. It consists of many other components as well. So all this is a part of machinery. Fourth, we will have to have the network engineers. So IT personnel, I would say. So we are referring to the network engineers and IT infrastructure engineers, all these people, right? And so many other supportive staff with respect to the data center. You need to hire them, you need to train them, you need to deploy them. This entire process is again capital investment. All right. Lastly, we're talking about the softwares. When I'm talking about the softwares, we need to understand I'm referring to the operating system. So Windows for laptop is different, Windows for servers are different, you know this. And there are many other operating systems which, like Linux and Ubuntu for servers as well, we have them. So it comes with that, and various other applications, everything. So purchasing of all these operating systems and applications, everything are essential constituents of a data center as well. So 1 moment. Okay, right. Guys, please give me some time. I'll just take your questions. We have time for Q&A. So till then, please give me some time. Yeah, so that is about it. So these are all the essential components of a data center. So this is how a data center was set up. So you can think now, each and every factor here that you need to create a data center is involved with capital investment. So big MNCs, which are having deep pockets, they will be able to make this investment, right? What about small companies? What about startups? What about medium scale companies? How will they, how will they actually work around these data center requirements and so on, right? How will they be able to connect their systems? How will they be able to connect to internet? How will they be able to work as a part of a team, as a part of a VPN? How will they do? Is for that. The answer for this is the hosting companies. So there are many companies which provide the hosting companies and other third-party IT infrastructure companies, right? They are going to provide for the hosting at a particular costing, okay? For 6 months, for 12 months, for 24 months, for 36 months. So it can be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. You can, say, for example, you have a business, right? when you have a business, you can take that business online, right? Say, for example, you have a business and you're running it in a city like Bangalore. Okay. Where will you get your customers or clients? Your customer base would be from the city, right? Now you want to take this business online because you think that the product or the service that you are offering has a huge demand. So you will go, you want to come, you want to come online, right? So that you will increase your footprint, you will increase your business, you will increase your opportunities, right? So the first thing you do for that is to create a website. Once you create a website, you will be hosting it in one of the hosting companies, all right? And then, you will actually, if you can create a website, you will create. Otherwise, you will go approach a web developer, a friend so he'll be helping out with respect to this web development. Now, once this is done, I mean, this is few years back. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 years. I'm talking about, right? You will be hosting it on a platform, on a hosting company. Now they are going to tell you, sir, we are going to charge you this much money for 12 months or 1 year or 2 years of time. Also, along with that, they will be charging you for the URL, your web URL, the website name I'm talking about, something like www.amazon.com, right? So that URL that we're talking about should be unique, as you know, .com, .in, .edu, .org, something like that, right? So now this is again going to cost you. Now, once you have purchased this, all right, now say you have purchased a particular hosting, say, let's say you have purchased something like 10 GB of hosting. You think, let me start with some, minimum demand, and you start with 10 GB. But I'm asking you, even if you're starting with 10 GB of hosting, something like that, from the day one, from the first moment, you will not have a demand of 10 GB, right? So a lot of your resources are being idle. Maybe even for first few days, maybe 10 days, 15 days, a month, the resources are lying idle and you're paying for it. In the day, in the night, 24 hours, you're paying for the resources which are lying idle there. You're not utilizing it. This is the first challenge. This is the first limitation with respect to on-premises data centers. So the traditional data centers or conventional data centers, which we have been using in last 2 to 3 decades, let us call them as on-premises data centers. Okay. The first limitation is a lot of resources will be lying idle there and you will be paying for it. Now, for example, okay, this is understood. Let's come to another point. Say, for example, your business is growing. Okay. It has grown in a month or 2 months of time. Let's say it has reached the peak. It has reached your full capacity. You will obviously ask the hosting company, you will request them to increase the hosting. Maybe now you increase to 10 GB to 100 GB. Let's assume, okay? You request them. They will say, sir, we are very happy. It's a revenue for them also. They're going to be happy about it. So they'll say, sir, we are very happy to help you out with increasing your demand, and they will provide you the scale up option, and they'll increase it to 100 GB. Now I'm asking you, right? Another 2-3 months, you're working really hard, and the demand is growing up and your business is doing really well, everything. In next 2 to 3 months, you hit the peak, you hit 100 GB. Now you will again ask them to increase the demand to 500 GB. Now they're going to come back and tell you, sir, we are very happy to provide you our hosting services. We will continue to provide you, but this time we will be able to support you. The next time you want to scale up, please let us know prior, so that we will be expanding our data center. Okay, because the data center that they have is limited. Probably they're having 10,000 servers or 15,000 servers or 20,000 servers. It's a limited capacity. Just like you, there are hundreds of clients which are using their hosting company. So they're almost full, right? Now, when you scale up from 100 GB to 500 GB, right? They are going to, when you're going to request them, they're going to accept it this time, right? And next 2-3 months, your business grows again. Now you want to scale up to 1 terabyte because your 500 GB capacity is full now. Now, if you want to go to 1 terabyte, what will happen? You're going to request them and they're going to tell you, sir, we are...
GB cannot be changed.
I'm sorry, is there a question?
The GB can't be changed. It means we cannot use high GB instead of GPT.
Please, I will take your questions if you don't mind. You can put it in the chat. There is a small disturbance with respect. It's not clear.
Hello, everyone. Please do add your questions in the chat so that the flow is not being disturbed. We will take sure your questions at last.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, as I told you, when you are scaling up from 500 GB to 1 terabyte, the hosting companies were having limitation. There are many other clients who are working, whom they are supporting. So 1 terabyte will be a huge task for them, right? Supporting only one client, 1 terabyte. Now they're going to say we need to, so let's say they need some time. How much time will they take? Maybe 1 week, 10 days, 2 weeks of time. See, please understand, they will have to go through this process. They will have to take an additional place. They will have to, develop the infrastructure. They will have to procure the machinery. They will have to recruit the IT personnel. They will have to install the software. Let us say minimum it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks of time. Now you are ready to wait for 3 to 4 weeks of time, but will your customers be ready to wait for 3 to 4 weeks of time? Right? So you, with a lot of hard work, you have built your business. You are building the demand, and see, the on-premises data center is not able to support you in your time when it is scaling up. All right. This is a major limitation, right? So you just understand, how can companies like social networking sites or e-commerce sites, how should they function if suddenly there is a rise in demand of the customers, right? They increase, they scale up, they need scaling up options of several terabytes in few seconds, several exabytes in few seconds sometimes, okay, or several petabytes sometimes. When they need the scaling options, obviously they need to have supportive IT infrastructure. This is where cloud is coming into picture. All right. So I can say some of the limitations of on-premises data centers is, first thing, when you set up your data center, when you set up your resources, your company or your business, anything, you are paying for resources which are lying idle for some part of the time. After that, when you have to scale up, there are limitations with respect to scaling up. Okay. Thirdly, let's say you have purchased 1 terabyte of data. They have provided you, right? Throughout the day, throughout the night, throughout from January to December, throughout all these months, you will not have 1 terabyte of, you might not have 1 terabyte of demand. It can be fluctuating, but you are paying for 1 terabyte of data consistently, continuously throughout the year. So this is, again, you are paying additional expense. I mean to say, you are certainly paying more than what you're utilizing there in on-premises model. This is where cloud is coming into picture. They are telling you, you don't need to, you only start with the demand that you have right now. You have 1 GB demand, start with 1 GB. If you want to scale up from 1 GB to 1 terabyte, you'll be able to do it in few seconds. And for example, during the day, you have a certain demand which is there. We will be billing you for the demand you are utilizing. During the night time, the demand is less. We will be billing you for the demand that you are utilizing. So you are actually optimizing your cost, and you are able to scale up when your business is scaling up. This is the main advantage with the cloud base. Please understand. Why are companies moving to cloud? Why are companies like, NASA, leading banks in the Europe, right? Space Research Center, NASA, leading banks in Europe and United States, and many other companies, IT companies, especially in India, in US, in Canada, in European countries. Why are they moving towards these places? Why are they moving towards cloud? The reason is because it is offering all these features. All right. So that is one main thing. Now, having understood this, let's understand what are the cloud platforms. So as I just told you, AWS, Azure, and GCP, these are the 3 cloud platforms that we have. All right. Now, keeping them aside, all these 3 cloud, we are focused on AWS right now. AWS is the first cloud platform to be set up. It was set up in 2006. It was internally working from 2002. In 2006, it was introduced. It was introduced with 3 services: EC2, S3, and SQS. EC2 is Elastic Compute Cloud. We will be launching virtual machines in that. We will be launching servers in that. S3 is the storage service, simple storage service. We will be supporting, it is a serverless storage. It is a massive storage. It is an object storage. I'll come to it. What is object storage? What is block storage? We'll be discussing this in the training, everything. Okay. Then coming to SQS, simple queue service. It is going to queue the incoming request. All right. These are the 3 services which were started in 2006. Then it started continuously expanding the services because new companies began to take Amazon support. New industries began to take, Amazon AWS support. Today, it is supporting educational sector, like it can be universities, edutech companies, everything. It is supporting health sector. It can be hospitals. It is supporting government sector, like government offices, everything they are moving on cloud. It is supporting research-based institutions like medical research companies, biomedical research companies, ocean floor research, space, deep space exploration companies, all these things, right? It is supporting a lot of companies. It is supporting diverse sectors and diverse industries today. This is what you need to understand. So AWS has a lot of services which are customized for their requirement. As of today, it is having 200 to 250 plus AWS services. All right. So I'll be taking you shortly to the console. We will discuss just for a few minutes how the console works, everything. Do not worry. But before that, I just want to tell you, AWS is working like this. It started with 2006. Then later on, Microsoft Azure started 3-4 years down the line. Microsoft Azure was started. Then few years down the line, Google started as GCP. All right. So that is how they started. As of today, AWS is certainly the market leader because it captures the majority of the market. I guess it is 45 to 50% even today. Somewhere few surveys says 50 to 60%, few surveys says 45 to 50%. But one thing is certain, AWS has around 50% of market share in the cloud. And 25 to 30%, I would say, goes for Azure. They are very close. I mean, they are competing very well in many of the services. So 30% would go for Azure as well. Google Cloud, another 5%, 5 to 10%, I can say Google Cloud. And another 5 to 10% is divided among IBM Cloud, VMware Cloud, and the Randstad, and many other private cloud services. All right. So these are the things. So we have many other terminologies coming to cloud: public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, multi-cloud, right? We will discuss all these things later on in the regular training sessions. We'll get about all these things, and even the services that are offered by the cloud. It is divided among various things, like we call it infrastructure as a service, we call it platform as a service, we call it software as a service, we call it function as a service, right? The functionalities of the services are different. The access to user, the discretion to the user is different. So based on that, how much discretionary powers a user has, a customer has, based on that, we are classifying the services and the intended purpose, right? What is the objective of the service? So like this, we have various classifications of the services. We'll be dealing with them in the regular session, everything with the hands-on. So let's keep that aside. As of now, let's focus on AWS discussion. Let's focus on the certifications provided by AWS. Firstly, when I'm coming to AWS certifications, firstly, this is what we have here, right? So these are the certifications. This is the certification path of AWS. In the foundational level, we'll be talking about AWS Cloud Practitioner. So generally, I can, it is compared to AZ 900, Azure 900 in Microsoft Azure, and GCP Cloud Leader program, which is again a practitioner program, which is a foundational program there. But I would say, compared to other two cloud platforms, this is much more comprehensive. This is much more deeper. All right. So AZ 900, maybe you can take up with few days of preparation. Cloud Practitioner is not like that. You need at least 3 to 4 weeks of intense study. Okay. Practitioner itself is challenging. Please trust me on this, right? Many students, many working professionals as well, find it challenging to clear the certification in the first attempt. Okay. It is not that easy. We call it foundational, but it is not still that easy to clear the certification. You need to prepare comprehensively. You need to understand, right? Cloud, see, AWS cloud is an environment, guys. So do not approach cloud with the same mindset that you approach Java, Python, programming languages, or data science tools, or data engineering tools, or AI tools, or machine learning tools. They are different. Tools are different. Applications are different. Environment is totally different. Okay, AWS is an environment. The more you explore the environment, the more you understand. See, I have my friends, my colleagues who are working on Excel for 10, 12, 15 years. All right. Okay. Now they tell me, when we are discussing sometimes, they tell me they still have a lot to discuss, learn on Excel itself, working 10 years, 12 years. Right. So you can really understand how many different features are still there. If an Excel Office tool can have that many features, think about cloud services. Every cloud service, how much operations and how much functionality it has, right? So, when we are training you on hands-on, we have at least like 14 to 15 modules we train you at solution architect level, and each module has 4 to 5 services. Probably we are training you on 70 to 80 services among 200 plus services. That is more than sufficient for you to start working at cloud solution architect level. This 70 to 80 services is what is required, which is majorly used. The other 100 to 120 services are 150 plus services. They are specific services focused on specific industry and specific industry requirements. All right. So the 70 to 80 services are sufficient for you to understand the the architecture part of the cloud and everything. But even these, every service that we are going to train you on, we will be training you on one or two hands-on sessions. These services, that itself takes a lot of time. In the project, we will be implementing in 100 different ways every different service. N number of ways we'll be implementing their hands-on. We will be using them as a part of a project. So it is really, I can say it is diverse. Application of cloud is diverse, okay? And cloud is different for a service-based company, for a product-based company, right? So it is completely different. The application part changes completely. So if you are moving from one company to another company as a cloud engineer, you will realize that how different the work is going to be, how diverse the work is going to be, okay? At the same time, it is going to be very interesting. It is going to be something, for me, I don't feel like, we generally say pressure, all these things. It is really like, if you enjoy your work, right? If you are trying to learn things and trying to implement things, then I don't think you are going to feel that, right? So that is the thing. Of course, sometimes it can be there, but then if you start understanding, pay attention to the process, pay attention to what is happening there, and a lot of solutions will be available there, okay? So that is one thing about foundational. Coming to foundation, once you clear foundation, you can go to associate level. One more thing, there is no mandatory that you have to clear foundation and then go to associate level. You can directly go to associate level certification. Foundation certificate is not mandatory. But then if you write foundational certification, you will have as it says foundational, you will have the base strong. You will have the core services understanding very strongly, okay? As I told you, it is focused on 6 different modules. Associate level, I told you there are 14 to 15 modules, right? 6 to 7 modules will be under foundational level, which are core services. I can name them as well. One thing will be your cloud fundamentals. One thing will be security, where we'll be discussing about IAM, identity and access management. We'll be discussing about compute, which we'll be discussing about EC2 and so on. In storage, we'll be discussing about S3. We'll be discussing about EBS. We'll be discussing about EFS, file storage, block storage, object storage. These are the storages we'll be discussing about. In database, we'll be discussing about RDS, relational database services, DynamoDB, Elastic Cache, Neptune, QLDB, and so on. We have MongoDB, so many other services we have in database services. And then we have monitoring tools, CloudTrail and CloudWatch. We have scaling tools, auto-scaling, EC2 auto-scaling, and so on, right? These are the essential modules for your cloud practitioner, all right? Based on this, you will be having an examination. So cloud practitioner exam is going to be for 90 minutes, 30 minutes added. It's going to be 120 minutes usually. So it'll be around 90 minutes, including the ESL, English Second Language. You can check that on the, you can refer to the website as well, AWS Certification Exam website. They have the details. There, it's going to ask you 65 questions. It's mostly going to be a straightforward questions. Like it's going to be fact-based questions, right? What is the service? What is the functionality of the service? What is the objectives of the service? How are you going to implement them? It is going to be purely factual, okay? So it is a straightforward thing, but still, because you will be exploring the environment, many of the terms can be new for you, and that is where you need to familiarize yourself with. Okay, that is what I'm talking about. Cloud practitioner. 700 marks is the minimum score. 1000 marks is the total score. 700 is minimum that you need to get to pass this exam. 70% is the passing score. So if you are clearing cloud practitioner, you can be writing the associate level, that is solutions architect, or SysOps administrator and developer. Okay, now let me explain you these 3. First of all, when I'm talking about cloud solutions architect, if you are interested to go towards, see, there are 3 major roles in cloud. There are many other roles, 3 major roles I'm talking about. One is cloud architect. What is the role of a cloud architect? The cloud architect is going to design the cloud environment for the client. It is just like common architecture, okay? Right? Say, for example, when if you have a plot of land, right? And you want to, construct a home or construct an office, you want to construct a building on a plot of land. What do? You go to an architect, you're going to ask him, sir, I have this plot of land and I want you to please design a building for me, an office for me, or something, whatever is a requirement, you're going to design. You're going to tell him. You will give him the measurements, you will give him the facing of the plot, which side it is placing, everything, right? And he's going to design. Now I'm asking you, you might have seen so many houses. You might have seen so many houses in your life, right? Yours, your friends, so many places. You can on a pen and a paper, taking up, you can also design a small, miniature. Like you know where a living space comes, where a kitchen comes, where washroom, everything. You can design it, right? But why do you go to architecture? Why do you go to an architect? Because he's a professional, right? He's a professional. He's going to design within your budget a good house with good materials and good, according to the facing, he's going to design the ventilation and so on, the sunlight and so how the sunlight should be coming, everything he's going to keep in mind and he's going to design. Similarly, you understanding the AWS environment, you understanding the cloud environment and taking the client requirements, you'll be talking to the client. You'll be asking the client, right? Sir, what is your requirement? So the client will come back and he will say, I'm a product-based company. I'm a service-based company. My service, I'll be offering these services to the clients. I'm offering these products to my customers, right? He'll come across and he'll be explaining his, he'll explain his requirement and he will tell, I want you to design a cloud environment with these requirements, and this is the budget, right? And then you will be responding to him saying that, sir, these services will be appropriate for you. You can use these services. These services come with this budget. You can use these services. But if you go for these services, these are going to be a little costly, but they are going to be more reliable. Like this. This is the role of a cloud architect. He'll be the first person to talk to the client from the cloud perspective I'm talking about. He's going to design the architecture for the client. Once the design of architecture is done, the cloud developer is going to implement these design. He is going to implement the architecture. He is going to develop the architecture. That is the role of a developer. That is where certified developer is coming into picture. Okay, right? Once the development is done, cloud developer does his job, development is done. The operations person is going to administer. The admin is going to maintain this and it's going to run this. So this is how it's functioning. This is how the operations are running. Okay, so all these three. So necessarily, when it comes to big companies, different people are playing this role. Architect will be separate, developer will be separate, the operations admin will be separate. All right. But when you're talking about smaller companies, startups, these three roles can be merged together. They can be one person performing all three jobs: architect job, developer job, and admin job. We'll call him the cloud expert, the cloud architect of that company or something. Okay. I'm sorry. So this is how it keeps working with respect to associate level. And then if you want to write professional level certification, associate level certification is mandatory. You will have to do that. Okay. So for writing associate level, you don't have any restriction. You can directly write associate level certification. But if you want to write professional level, you will have to qualify associate level and go to the professional level. Again, coming to specialty certification, if you write associate, you will be allowed to specialty level. Professional level is not mandatory to write specialty. Okay. That means you will be going gradually from associate level to professional level. So if you complete associate level solutions architect, you can write professional level solutions architect. Now you need to take time here. I'll tell you that. So associate level, if you have 6 months of, sorry, 1 moment. So if you have 6 months of experience about cloud, then you can go with associate level. All right. If you are more than 1 to 2 years of time, you can go with professional level. So professional level solutions architect I'm talking about. Then we're also talking about DevOps engineer, DevOps professional, and so on over here. So that is again, if you have done SysOps cloud developer, you can go with DevOps engineer as well. So this is what professional level is about. All right. Then coming to specialty certifications, as you see, we have in specialty certifications, advanced networking, we have security, we have machine learning, we have SAP on AWS, we have data analytics, we have database. So these are all the various specialty level certifications that you have over here. All right. So foundational level, associate level, professional level, specialty level. These are all the certifications. Okay. Now, talking about our focus today, AWS Solutions Architect. This exam is going to have multiple choice. It is going to be for 130 minutes. As I told you again, you will have a grace period of 30 minutes. Okay. If you are from ESL, English Second Language, I mean to say, they consider the country where it is second language and they will give. Okay. So English second language is going to be here, like 130 minutes plus 30 minutes is going to be 160 minutes. You need to choose that option that it's your second language and you'll be given 30 minutes extra, right? So please make use of that. Not many people know that, okay? So you will get 30 minutes extra. You can attempt at least 10 to 15 questions or 20 questions more, right? So that is the thing. So 130 minutes is going to be really short period for solution architect. Now, I told you when I'm talking about cloud practitioner, I told you that cloud practitioner will be straightforward questions, right? It's fact-based questions. But in cloud, in the solutions architect, it is going to be application-based questions. It is going to be design-based questions. It is going to be scenario-based questions. All right. During our regular training session, I will try to show some of the questions. I will try to discuss with you as well. I will try to demonstrate. I will try to discuss. Okay. But then I'm telling you, it's going to be scenario-based questions. The questions itself goes like 7-8 lines. Your options goes for, each option goes for 3 to 4 lines sometimes. Okay. So the question itself goes for nearly 20-25 lines. I'm not exaggerating at all. That is how the questions are in solutions architect, because what they'll be explaining you is they will be asking you, see, this client is having this company. He's running these services and this is his requirement and this is the application he's looking for. Currently, he's implementing these services, AWS services, as a part of his application. Now he wants to go for cost optimization, or he wants to go for, like he want to go for more availability. He want to go for better presence of his services. Okay, any of these cases will be given. And what is the solution you offer? The solution will be offered in 4 different options, and you will have to go for which is the best one. Okay, so you need to have an in-depth understanding of cloud environment and services over here. These are purely scenario-based questions. Okay, right? And among these 65 questions, usually they say 10 to 15 questions are not evaluated by the cloud, the AWS cloud. They don't evaluate. Okay, so for 1,000 marks, probably 50-55 questions are given. And the questions here will have multiple right answers. Okay. Not all questions have single right answer. Some questions have 2 right answers. Some questions have 3 right answers. Okay. You will have to choose them precisely. Questions with 2 right answers and 3 right answers, even if one of the answer is right and one answer is wrong or 2 answers are wrong, it is going to be wrong completely. You will have to get all the answers right. Okay. So this is what I'm telling you need to understand about. And majorly, one more thing, the passing score is 720. Out of 1,000 marks, 720 marks you have to get. That means out of 65 questions, you have to get at least 50 to 55 questions right. Only then you'll be passing. All right. So please put in your efforts as the training is happening. I always tell my students, I always from the second or third session itself, I will start supplementing them the notes. I'll start supplementing them the cloud practitioner questions. If they are comfortable by mid of training, or at least by 70% of training, they're comfortable about cloud practitioner questions. By the time I complete my training, solution architect training, you will be able to at least understand solution architect questions. Okay. And then taking 1 week to 2 weeks of time, or 3 weeks of time, or a month of time, preparing well, you can go give your solutions architect exam. The reason you need to prepare this is because you will be paying $150 for solutions architect. It is going to cost you 12,500 or 13,000 rupees. Okay. And it's going to give you only one chance. Okay. So you pay once, you're going to write once. And cloud practitioner is going to be $100. It's around 8,500 rupees. Okay. Right. This is the cost of the examination, certification exam. And that is about it. So it is very essential for you to have a very good mentoring, very good training, very good support for you. Right. And that is what we are offering you here. So that is, we are trying to, explain the same thing here. This is and you are passing this examination, this certification. You just put it on your LinkedIn or in your Naukri profile. You're going to get calls. You don't need to call anybody. You don't need to look. You don't need to ask somebody for opportunity. They're going to look for you. All right. So this is the thing. Now let's go a little further into our things. So let me discuss a few more things. Now I want to discuss about the AWS cloud a little more. So here I'm talking to you about the global infrastructure part. So there are 29 plus regions. Okay. So please understand, when I'm talking about AWS global infrastructure, the region is the broader sense that I'm talking about. It's like a country. Just like the country is divided into states, the region is divided into availability zones. So we have 90 plus availability zones. And just like the states are divided into further like districts or smaller administration areas, we are calling them data centers. Okay. what exactly is lying on the ground is a data center. There is no availability zone, there is no region on the ground. On the ground, what exists is data center. 3 or 4 data centers combined together is called an availability zone. 3 or 4 availability zones combined together is called a region. That is all. All right. Now, where are these regions present? This is where the regions are present. Okay. That these regions I'm talking about. So just to demonstrate for you, on here on the US West Coast, we have North California, we have Oregon. So North California, this is one region. Oregon is a region, and Government Cloud West is another region. On the East Coast, we have North Virginia, which is the oldest AWS region. It has the highest number of availability zone. Then we have the Government Cloud East, and then we have Ohio. These are the 6 regions in United States. Then coming to Canada, we have it in Montreal in the province of Quebec. All right. So Canada has 7 provinces. So one of the provinces is Quebec. It's a French-speaking province. Montreal is the capital city where it is located. Then we have it in one more region. We have it in South America, in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. So this is only region for the entire continent of South America. Coming to Africa, for the entire continent, we have it in South Africa, in Cape Town. Coming to Australia, we have it in 2 places. One is Sydney and Melbourne. And in Japan, we have it in Tokyo and Osaka. In South Korea, we have it in Seoul. Then here in China, we have it in Beijing. We'll have it in Xinjiang. And then we have it in Hong Kong as well. Then we have it in Singapore. We have it in Jakarta, in Indonesia. Coming to India, we have it in Mumbai and in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a new region that's coming up. Then we have it in Middle East, in Bahrain. Coming to Europe, we have it in Sweden, in Stockholm. We have it in Frankfurt in Germany, Zurich in Switzerland, Milan in Italy, Paris in France, and Spain. We have it in London in UK, and then Dublin in Ireland. So these are all the regions across the globe. There are a few more regions which are planned and which are coming up, but these are the regions across the globe as of today, right? That is the thing. These regions are divided into 3 or 4 availability zones. These zones are further subdivided into 3 or 4 data centers. All right, that is about it. Now, apart from this, this is one hierarchy. All right. So remember, there are 2 hierarchies. One hierarchy is region, availability zones, and data centers. The data centers can be present in the countryside as well. On the other hand, other hierarchy, we have points of presence. Points of presence, there are 230 plus points of presence. They are located in metropolitan cities. Please understand. This points of presence, the edge locations I'm talking about, they are purely located in metropolitan cities. Why? Because their main objective is to support content streaming, content, CDN services. Okay. Now, what are the CDN services? I'll come to it, everything. We have CloudFront, which is a CDN service, everything. Content Delivery Network. That is what CDN stands for. Example, your Netflix, Amazon Prime, all these OTT platforms, right? And many other entertainment platforms, everything, they are being streamed through the edge locations. They will be supported through the edge locations. Edge locations are like miniature versions of the data centers itself, but they'll be focused in metropolitan cities. Okay. So there are 216 plus such edge locations across the globe and 14 plus regional edge caches. Edge caches are used for caching purpose. What is caching? We will come to it later. Okay. But please understand, edge caching is done. So edge caches are 14 plus regional edge caches. So caching means it is basically copying the content in a server and moving it closer to the user, the customer. All right, I will come to it. So if you see here, these are all the various edge locations across the globe. So what you see in blue color is single edge location. That means that metropolitan city has one single edge location. What you see here in purple color is multiple edge location. That city has more than one edge location. What you see here in slightly orange color is regional edge caches. Now, for example, let me tell you example for caching. Okay, let's say you're located in India. You are accessing a server whose content is present in the United States in the West Coast. Obviously, it is 7,000 to 8,000 miles apart. Because of this distance, there is latency. What is latency? Delay. Okay, this delay can be reduced because of this caching. So what happens? The edge locations is going to copy the content and bring it closer to your edge location. Just like there are edge locations in United States, there are edge locations in India also. They will be there in Mumbai, they will be there in Bangalore, they will be there in Chennai, they will be there in Hyderabad, right? So edge locations are there, right? In other cities also edge locations are there, like Gurgaon, Pune, these Kolkata, these places also some edge locations are present, can be present, right? So through these edge locations, So any of these edge locations will be closer to you. So whichever is closer to you, the content will be cached there, and you will be accessing the content from there. Okay. So I'm telling you once again, what is caching means. You will be looking for some content in the server. Server has so much content, but you are looking only a small part of the content. That content that the user is looking for, if the server is located far away, then the content is copied and brought closer to the user, closest edge location, so that you'll be able to access it quickly. That is what we say caching. Okay, caching has different purposes and different methods and ways of it. But in cloud, this is how we are using it. Here, this is the context in which we are using it. All right, that is the thing. Next, this is about the global infrastructure part. Quickly discussing a few things. We have something called shared responsibility model. Why we have to share responsibility? Just one moment. So why do we need to share the responsibility is because, please understand, there are two people who are responsible for cloud. One is the cloud provider, other person is the cloud user. Okay. You cannot say cloud user has entire responsibility because he is not actually maintaining or managing the data center, right? And you cannot completely put the responsibility on cloud provider, that is the AWS, because it is providing the resource, but it will not store the data. See, now let's say Gmail. Gmail is providing you an email service, right? But what emails are there? What data is in the email? Only you will know, right? The Gmail is not inspecting your email, right? They're not knowing what data is there. They are going to give you the support, right? Similarly, the cloud is offering you the storage. What you store in the cloud is completely left to you, right? Nobody is inspecting that. Only you know what data is there in the cloud. So how come AWS be responsible for the data that you are storing in the cloud, right? That is why we are demarcating the services very clearly. So there is a clear-cut demarcation of responsibilities between the user and the cloud provider. So when I'm talking about customer, responsibility of the security in the cloud, whatever happens within the cloud, in the cloud is responsibility of the customer. In is the keyword here. And responsibility for security of the cloud. That means the data center, the maintenance of the server, maintenance of the storage devices, everything. Say, for example, the storage device, some hardware is not functioning. Replacing the hardware is responsibility of AWS because AWS is maintaining it. So that way, security of the cloud is AWS responsibility. So like that. So the regions, the availability zones, the edge locations, the hardware and the AWS global infrastructure, the compute, storage, database, networking services, the software that are installed, which are installed to run the data center, all this is responsibility of the AWS to maintain it. All right. Even before this, even before cloud, right? When on-premises was happening, on-premises data centers were actually running, even at that point of time, you need to understand, whenever a hosting company was providing the services, suppose let's say a company like Infosys is depending on, it is not depending, it has its own data centers. But for example, I'm saying if a company like Infosys is depending on a hosting company, okay, for some reason, the hosting data center is down. It's not functioning for a few minutes. In the agreement, it will be very clear that until few minutes, say 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it is permitted, right? They can adjust if the production environment is down. But beyond 15 or 20 minutes, if the production environment is down, then Infosys will start seeing consequences of it. So the hosting data center should pay Infosys a certain sum of money. However long the downtime will be there, that much time they should be paying them, because that is the production losses cost. Okay, right? These are the clauses which were there even before, right? So then there is a good joke in the industry, actually, if I can share a small joke in this thing, right? So it's like this: the network engineers and the infrastructure engineers, right? These people, like whoever are there, see, I'm not belittling their work. They have very important work to do, and they're doing a lot of work. But I'm just saying, usually it is said like the network engineers will have work when the regular IT engineers are not working. And if the IT in the industry, if IT professionals are working, then network engineers will be not working. That's in fact pretty much true, because when the data center is not functioning, that is when network engineers has a lot of work, right? They will have to bring it up and running. When the data center is working fine, the entire industry is working. So they just need to monitor if it's working fine. That's it, right? So this is how the internal things of data centers are. So that's about it, responsibility for security of the cloud. Then coming to in the cloud here, as you see, we are having this, let's say we are talking about the customer data. We're talking about platform applications, identity and access management. That's again, very, very important, IAM. I'll come to it. Then we have operating system, network and firewall configuration. We have client-side data encryption and data integrity authentication. We have server-side encryption. We have networking, traffic protection, everything. I'll discuss all these things later. Okay. All this comes under customer responsibility. So as you see here, the responsibility, the demarcation is very, very clear with respect to customer and with respect to AWS. All right. Then coming to your AWS management console, I can show you my console as well. This is a screenshot of my console. Okay. So I can even take you through my console environment sometime. Okay. But right now, let's just, I have a few things to discuss. So this is how your AWS management console looks. All right. These are all the various services it offers, right? These are the list of services, total list of services in which in solution architect will be dealing with these services, which are highlighted in the color, right? Serverless services, networking and content delivery, database services, security, identity and compliance, management and governance, storage services, AWS cost management, compute services, container services. All these things will be offered over here. This is about it. All right. So this is all. And last topic I just want to discuss with you is about AWS Architect. Architect framework pillars, the architect responsibilities here. These are the 5 different principles that we have here. We have about security here. The security can apply at all the layers, everything, right? Say for example, when we are talking about, there are 5 different principles: security, cost optimization, reliability, performance efficiency, and operational excellence. When I'm talking about security, there are security applies at all layers, means there are 7 different layers, networking layers. So security has to apply at all layers. Principle of least privilege. What does it mean is that when you are creating a user in the cloud environment, we can create IAM users. When you are creating a user, you will have to give them privileges. You will have to give them permissions. These permissions have to be kept minimum is what they're trying to tell you. That means you can, let's say there are admin permissions. They are service-based permissions, EC2 permission, IAM permission, S3 permission, VPC permission. So what do I mean is that if you add this policy, if you add this permission, the user will have access to this permission. Let's say, for example, developers need access for 3 or 4 services or 5 services, maybe a few more. An analyst needs access for 5 or 6 services, a little more services, whatever. Like this, every job role who's working on the cloud requires access for only some of the services, not all 200 plus services. So that's what we are trying to say. Give access to only what is required. Multi-factor authentication is nothing but something like an OTP. You will receive an OTP on your mobile. Every time you sign in, this is the second layer of security, second layer of authentication. That's about it. Then we're talking about cost optimization. MFA is very important because it is going to, it's a second layer of security. And if you are taking care of authentication and authorization, 90% of your security is taken care. I can say, okay, security issues are taken care. Then we are talking about cost optimization. Here we're talking about analyzing and attributing expenditures. So how you can analyze, attribute. So in cost optimization, I'll discuss, there is billing in your account. There is billing dashboard where it will clearly tell you what is your usage pattern and how much billing can happen, everything. The cost resources are cost effective. And here you can start with minimal resources. 1 GB you can start. You don't need to straight away start with 10 GB, 50 GB, 100 GB, 200 GB, 1 terabyte. You can start with what is your current demand. So you can stop guessing. Then reliability. Please understand this carefully. When I'm talking about reliability, right? It is the ability of the resources to recover from failure. Okay. You can take this word to word from me. The ability of the resources to recover from failure. That means, we cannot say that this data center will not experience downtime. That is not the case. If it is experiencing downtime, how are you going to work on it and bring it up and running? How soon can they start working is the question here. That is what reliability means. The ability of the resources to start working again. Then test recovery procedures. So this disaster recovery we are talking about, there are a few strategies. It is about that. Then how you can scale to increase availability. That means availability means if a particular resource is present in multiple availability zones, we call it increase of availability. This will make sure that the customers are reaching it better. Okay. The customers are able to reach the AWS resources better because of availability. Then we're talking about performance efficiency. Performance efficiency means it will reduce the latency. Latency means delay. You can use serverless architecture. Serverless architecture is a fantastic concept. Serverless, we will discuss it sometime in the training or something. Server and serverless. Serverless is, one of the most innovative ideas. I can say innovative ideas, right? Because it has increased the scaling and storage many times. S3 is a serverless storage, and it literally offers unlimited storage, okay, right? And most affordable storages. So that is what we need to understand. Serverless architecture you can use, and you can incorporate monitoring. That means you can monitor your AWS services, and people who are signing into AWS environment, you can monitor. There are services, tools to monitor. We will discuss that as well. Then operational excellence, they perform operations with the code, right? Infrastructure as code we're talking about. I'll come to it, what it is. Then testing response for unexpected events. So if there are any unexpected events, as I was talking to you about disaster recovery, backup, everything, how will you be alert regarding that? And what are the backup procedures you have? What are the backup strategies you have? Everything we need to understand here. This is about it. So one thing I can tell you, the security of cloud is very, very robust. Okay. Most of the people only have this question. Yes, scaling is very good. You can scale up very easily, right? The cost optimization is very clear. You are reducing the cost. All this is clear. But how good is the security, cloud security? That's what I'm saying. The authentication and authorization in the cloud is very effective. And any environment, if the authentication and authorization is good, then 90%, 99% of the security issues are taken care. You will not have any breach of security issues. You will not have any security issues if the authentication authorization is robust. So that is the case with cloud. All right. Apart from that, there are many other firewalls. We'll discuss what they are, everything, which will take care of the security part as well. So this is about it. Now, whatever I had discussed, it can be AWS Global Infrastructure. It can be shared responsibility models. It can be well-architected framework principles. It can be your various certifications and certification path, everything. All this is essential for your solutions architect certification path. It is all essential of this module. Even when I start training you on cloud fundamentals, all these topics I'll be including in that. It is a part of it. All right. So this is about it. So there's a lot more topics and a lot more things to present. So this is a sample architecture, a module architecture of AWS. All right. I cannot go through this in detail right now. Just to give you a simple insight into this, the user will be sending the request. So you will be requesting. The user request will be coming through Route 53. Route 53 is a DNS service. DNS means domain name system. It converts the web address to IP address and IP address to web address. That's what Route 53 does. And the request will go through CloudFront. CloudFront is a CDN, a content delivery network, which is going to reduce the latency. It is going to increase the network bandwidth. It is going to increase the throughput, optimization, everything. Then the request will pass through the Amazon S3. S3 is a bucket. The logs are stored in the S3, and then the request passes through Internet Gateway. It comes through load balancer. Load balancer is used in the traditional data centers. Load balancer is going to allow the incoming request to the server. And here, Elastic Load Balancer does the same thing. It is going to allow the incoming request to the servers, that is application servers here. The application servers will be backed up by EFS. EFS is nothing but Elastic File Storage. It will be supporting it. Okay. We need storage service to support a server, because ultimately the request is coming to server. Server has to respond. Server will respond looking at the storage only. Suppose you are looking for your university marks card, or you're looking for some competitive exam results. You have given your register number. So how will a server fetch out your register number? It's going to look at the storage. It is going to, according to your register number, it's going to pull out the file and present to you that particular your marks card, right? That is how the relationship is there between server and the storage service. Okay. Then we have the database service. We have RDS primary and RDS standby. RDS stands for relational database service. Now, databases comes from on-premises itself, like DBMS and RDBMS that we have. It is coming from there. All right. We will discuss them more detail. Memory cache is part of Elastic Cache. All right. This is how this entire architecture works. This is secured with VPC, virtual private cloud, and it's also secured with the subnets. All right. So public subnet is a division of VPC. That's how it is. So this is about your architecture. So that is all that I want to present today. We can go on and go on and go on about cloud. Okay. So, but we'll have to stop somewhere. We have questions for Q&A, right? And we have Chaitra with us. Chaitra wants to give you some more insights, about our organization. So let's start with this. Okay. Chaitra, you can take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this lovely insights on AWS, Praveen. It was really very insightful for me, though I'm not part of technical or cloud part, right? So it was very insightful, and maybe I would like to go for one training. I would like to attend one of your trainings because it was so insightful for me. And coming back to where you can find these trainings or from where you can attend, right? So now Knowledgehut is a platform where you can go ahead. And before I start off with Knowledgehut, Praveen, if you could play the PRISM video for us, which is an immersive learning outcome-based platform from KH. Just a 2 minutes of video for you guys, wherein we do have a lot of insights, how you can practice a self-based assessments, how to go through that. So
we live in a fast-changing digital world. The rate of change is intensifying. The workforce is struggling to keep up, and the skills gap is increasing. Why this gap? Because individuals and companies are struggling to adapt to the new pace of change. To compete at the pace of change, teams need to build skills at scale and drive outcomes. And for that, they depend on Knowledgehut. Introducing PRISM, Knowledgehut's new immersive learning experience platform. PRISM is designed to provide a highly engaging, immersive learning experience with you at the center of the learning. You get to learn, practice, assess, gain insights on your learning, and personalize your learning journey. Get started with a live instructor-led training program, online self-paced course, or a blended learning course. PRISM supports all delivery modes, providing the learner with a seamless learning experience. Explore the detailed curriculum and get familiar with all the learning assets available to you. Reinforce your learning anytime, anywhere with engaging on-demand videos, smart flashcards, interactive ebooks, and recall quizzes. Practice is crucial to your learning process. Want to practice your coding? Access our playground labs anytime, anywhere. Guided hands-on exercises help you gain confidence and get productive right from the get-go. Test your subject matter comprehension through diagnostic, module level, and final assessments. Our diagnostic assessment helps benchmark you, gauge where you stand, learn tactically, and develop the skills you need to move fast. Assess your skills at every stage with a variety of questions ranging from multiple choice to code-based, completely auto-graded by our system. Assignments and projects within our inbuilt and intelligent development environment give you micro work-like experiences. Based on your performance in the assessments, assignments, and projects, you gain deep insights on your progress. Identify areas you are good at and where you need to improve. Follow recommendations and enhance your skill proficiency from where you are to where you want to get. You can join live instructor-led sessions right from within the platform. And once the session is over, you have the recorded video available right here along with lifetime access to the content. Stuck anywhere? PRISM also supports one-to-one mentoring. An exclusive assigned expert will help clarify your doubts and guide you. You also get to maximize your learning potential with collaborative social learning via discussion forums and group and one-to-one messaging. So whether you're preparing to move to a modern JavaScript framework, build an AI-based application, or whatever your area of interest, you can trust Knowledgehut to help you develop skills effectively. By leveraging our state-of-the-art intelligent environment, skills assessments, one-of-a-kind analytics, and immersive learning experience platform, organizations can now put the right people on the right projects. It's why fast-growing companies are getting on PRISM. They understand that it will help them keep up with the pace of change and grow faster than their competition. So, what is your company doing? Is the notion of aligning your learning strategy with a skills strategy at the board of your company right now? What are your training budgets? And essentially, what should you be learning next?
So that is our platform, immersive learning platform for all individuals, for all sort of your trainings. If you could go back to the presentation, Praveen.
Sure.
Okay. So why Knowledgehut? Why you guys have to come and attend any of our courses in that case from Knowledgehut? Because we are one of the top trusted head tech organization in filling the gaps like in this upskilling environment, right? In this layoff session of and to improve the technology or to upskill your knowledge, we do have many of the courses in our Knowledgehut website. Like we do have 300 plus courses for individuals in building their career. So, and we do have experienced trainers of over 600 plus experts working with us on daily basis with our corporates, like with our enterprise teams, with our enterprise customers, and with our public classes. So we do have 600 plus trainers working with us, and we do have experience in training over 2 lakhs, like 22,000 plus 500 professionals in all sort of frameworks, like technology based, technology space, like as you are attending AWS, that is one part of it. Like we do have different frameworks also, like Scrum, Agile, Safe framework. So in all sort of frameworks, we do are the professionals giving all sort of trainings, and we have successfully delivered almost 1,250 plus classes. It is a rough figure, and trained over 4 lakh plus professionals across 100 plus countries in all sort of frameworks, in all sort of technology space till now. And we do have a 4.8 ratings on Google and Trustpilot, which means you can just guess how Knowledgehut has given a lot of trainings and how engaging we are. And then we are the trusted skilled transformation partners for over 1,200 plus enterprise customers working with us all globally. And we do out of which 50 plus are the Fortune 50 companies working with us for their transformation journey. And then we do have, as just you guys had a look, we do have the outcome based immersive learning platform by name PRISM, which is an added advantage for us, for any individuals or for any enterprises. We have seen a lot of growth in individual perspective and with the enterprise teams by using our PRISM tool. And with Knowledgehut, we do have a different set of career roadmap, building one-on-one sessions with any of the individuals in building their career roadmap. How, if you have taken any technology courses with us, how you can build your career by getting any other courses or by landing into a better job opportunities like that. So we do have that a set of career roadmaps built to each and every individuals. Next one. Okay, so maybe the slides has missed Praveen. So we do had, yes. So why to choose Knowledgehut as your AWS, especially AWS learning partners? Because we do have a career build or the curriculum built on like learn by doing. Our hands-on course equips you to practice on cloud labs across the whole range of AWS technologies and AWS services all across. And then we do have a real world focus, like which means our comprehensive training equips you with the knowledge and skills to get productivity on a job. And we do have, as I told, many 600 plus industry experts working with us globally in teaching you with different AWS courses. And one of them is like Praveen, whom we have in this session. And then we do have industry vetted curriculum, like our courses follow on AWS prescribed curriculum and additionally vetted by the industries and taught by the top-notch industry experts as usual. And then we do have continued learning support from our end, like with our webinars, with our ebooks. We do have different sort of master classes, like one-on-one sessions arranged. There is a continuous support after you do take up our AWS with us. And then job ready skills, like which will give you maximize your readiness for an rewarding career as you acquire skills most sought after by employees across the industries and by the industry experts as well. So job ready skill sets is always an high end for us. Like we do have one-on-one support on job placements as well. And why to choose Knowledgehut, or what are the additional benefits you do get after attending our AWS or any sort of trainings with Knowledgehut? Maybe the next one, Praveen. So what are the add-ons you do get apart from the certification, what you are approaching us, right? The job support with our 4,500 plus customers whom we are working individual perspective or with the enterprise. As soon as you have some job requirements, right, just send us your CVs and we do our part of upgrade team, wherein we do have upgrade recruit. We can send your CVs to them and they would get back to you with your right job opportunities, or they can land you in a better job for you. Then we do have, as I told, one-on-one career roadmap sessions with our experts. Like if in case you are facing like where to go, like maybe I am so and so. So which job, which technology based certifications would be good for you, or which sort of framework certifications would be good for you? We do have a one-on-one career roadmap sessions arranged. Just send us a mail to support@knowledgehut.com. So we will get back to you and arrange a one-on-one session and support you in career building for you. And as we showcased, a very good platform on PRISM for your individual learnings, like self-based assessments. We do have a better opportunity for your career building as well. And we do support on mock test plus interview preparations. As I told, this is interrelated to the one-on-one career roadmap as well. We do have our admission counselors available. They do help you guys in different mock tests for each and every technology-based courses, or any safe or Scrum based framework courses as well. We do prepare you guys on mock test and interview preparations. Like for example, if you are going for any of your technology based courses, we do prepare you in giving the interview questions in aligned to our expert coaches. And then attend such free career master classes, which you guys are attending now, and to access a better job opportunities. And then we do have this success stories. Like if you go on our Knowledgehut websites, or if you could hear right with any of our attendees, we do have many of our success stories written on our website, put it all across the social medias everywhere. And we do have in handy many of the success stories of any of the individual by landing by or attending any of the courses. How was he able to place in a very high demanding or high paying jobs? So those success stories we can discuss with you when you have a one-on-one session with us, or when you come back to us for any of the next opportunities with Knowledgehut especially. And then we do have few of the clients, like as I told, we do have working with 1,200 plus clients as of now, and 50 plus Fortune organizations. And these are few of them listed just for your reference kind. And then what next is, what after attending this masterclass, especially on any of the courses or any of the masterclass, free masterclass, which I was talking. So you will receive a certificate of completion once you attend the entire masterclass, like from first to last. Like within couple of days, you will be getting this masterclass certifications, which would be sent across to you via mail, and which you can showcase at any of the social medias of attending the masterclass on AWS kind. And then join our learning community and interact with line mindset professionals. Like here is the link for you guys to just add on your just click on this links and accept the invite, wherein there are many of the people or like-minded people who are already attended any of our trainings, or if you have any queries related to any of the technology based courses or any of the framework based courses. So we do have this WhatsApp community channel to ask questions and get the knowledge, or just getting to know the next upcoming schedules of any of the sessions or master classes like that, just for our community platform. So you may choose to contact our support team if in case you want to enroll for any of our upcoming sessions on any of the technology based or any of the framework based courses as well. So support at knowledgehut.com, that is our support ID. You can just write a mail or just get back to us on that. And then this is a very valid thing, like book your slot by paying just $50 for today. And then you can access 3 e-learning, any of the courses from our end. And then this $50 can be considered for the advanced booking kind for any of your upcoming courses if you want to join in. Or you may choose to connect with our career counselors, as I told. Just send a mail to support@knowledgehut.com. We will get back to you with our admission counselors or career counselors team to guide you on an career roadmap building opportunities. The next one. And that's it, like from the Knowledgehut perspective, but we will have one quiz at the end, as I told, so that we can announce the winners at last. So we will have the quiz and then take up the questions. Quiz, please. Yeah. So which of the following are not AWS Well Architect Framework pillars? Single answer. Okay. I think we are done with the quiz, and answer is actually elasticity. So that is the answer. Thank you for everyone in participating in the quiz. And then now we'll just go ahead with the question and answers. There was one question, Praveen, from Sheikh. AWS, is it hard to learn or how is it?
See, one thing I would like to tell you, as I told you, any new technology is an uncharted territory, right? So do not start anything, that with a negative notion. Okay, I would like to just tell you this. Don't think this is a very broad definition or broad suggestion, but I would like to say, start doing little by little. Somebody can have a capacity to, understand one complete module in a day. Maybe you might do, maybe you can do 2 modules also, but I'm just telling you, just understand how much you can. Maybe half of the module you understand today, just do that, just take it. So take how much you can do it, but start doing it. So that if somebody can finish it in 1 month, maybe you can take a little more, 10 days, 15 days, 2 months, but you can definitely finish it. All right. And I'm telling you, right, the reason, for me, there are n number of things I can do. I mean to say, in IT industry, there are n number of positions and other roles that I can play. But I tell you honestly that this gives me a lot of satisfaction, because we are in that kind of situation in the country and individually also, right? So you just think, I'm helping 40 of you or 50 of you get trained in a batch. Sometimes we have batches of 80, 100 also, right? I'm just helping you train, and you are finding jobs and you are becoming cloud engineers, cloud architects. Just think, you are transforming your entire family, right? At least 400 or 500 people's lives are changed just because of 2 months and 3 months consistent effort, right? And if you can do this, as many people as we can cover, we are changing, we are transforming our life, we are transforming the family situation, we are transforming the economy of a country. So this is the greatest opportunity that we have. So we say that US is a developed country, many countries, European countries are developed countries. It is because the population, the people living in 1960s and 70s really worked. I mean, so in their country, they really worked, the policies worked, and they developed the country. So for us, I feel the demographics, we have the youngest population today. We're all graduating from the universities. We need to get into right technologies, right? And we need to upskill to the right technologies and start working. And that's when I feel, so this is my giving back. This is my, give back to society. So I work aggressively on this. I work relentlessly. I take all your questions, right? I even stay 10, 15, 20 minutes, even after my training session, answer all the questions and go, because I know how much important it is for each one of your career. So you can do it. You definitely can do it. And I'm there with you to help you to do this.
Thank you. The next one is from Sayada. If the GB increases, it's not effect on GPT.
I really need to, you were actually trying to ask me that question. I'm really sorry, I had to get that flow, but you really need to explain me a little bit. What do you mean by this? Are you referring to GPT, chat GPT or something?
Sayada, I don't think. Maybe let us get back to her later if she's there or not. We are not able to look into it.
GP and GPT are two different concepts. So maybe if you can explain, you can reach me out on LinkedIn also. So please let me know. I'll try to explain you that.
Sure.
Next question, please.
Then as a business analyst, how these certifications would be helping and which would be best suitable for technical aspect?
I would tell you, as a business analyst, you are working towards analyst. Business analyst is a broad term, right? There are, depending on the industry, depending on the company, you have different roles and different responsibilities totally, right? So just think about, and more importantly, I would say, Solutions Architect is a program which is widely, which is taken up by the aspirants, cloud aspirants especially, who want to shift to cloud domain. They take up cloud practitioner, cloud solutions architect. So in solutions architect, it covers a lot of concepts regarding cloud. So it's like you are getting trained on cloud environment and cloud services. So I any day refer to you solutions architect. You can still work as a developer. You can still work as a cloud engineer. You can still work on the operation side of the cloud, doing the solution architect certification, because it's a certification that gives you knowledge on the cloud. So I would suggest you solutions architect.
Okay, we have one question from Sibu. Like he is asking the data which you showcase, right, region wise and data centers, was that on was it till 28th April 2020?
Yeah, as of today,
is that the as of today?
Yeah. See, as of today, there are 31 regions and 99 availability zones as of today. You can check it. Okay. But in the data, I presented those availability, the regions and availability zones, because I'm a trainer from AWS. I have been trained by AWS Amazon directly, okay, in one of their training programs, and that's where they certify everything as. Now I'll tell you, we have access to the content that I just shown you. Okay, it is I can't display the official content of it, but the slides I'm discussing with you, the content is AWS standard content. Okay, over there they have modified it recently, I think in January, right? January or February. So they keep modifying it every 1 month, 2 months. So once I get access to the latest slides, the world map will change with 31 regions. So as of now, you have to understand there are 24 or 25 regions which are being shown in the world map. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. So we have one question is like solution architect is so huge. How to remember it?
Please don't. That's what I'm saying, right? If somebody is doubting you, is fine, but you should not doubt yourself. You shouldn't doubt yourself. Okay, right? You can evaluate yourself. I mean, you can look at your strength and your weakness, but don't say, can I do this or not? If you really want to do it, now start doing it. And we are here to genuinely help you with that. All my trainings, as I'm training, I'm there with you. I'm there with each one of my students. Okay, don't worry. You can do. Definitely, you can do. It is not huge. I'll make it simple for you. Why do you worry? Isn't this simple?
Yeah.
It was too technical. Right? Isn't this simple? That's it.
Okay, so we do have one more. Do I need to be a network engineer to become AWS solution architect?
That's a very good question. See, many of you have this understanding that you need to have very strong networking and basics, networking background and database background to be a cloud engineer. I totally accept. I know where the question is coming from, because previously that is what network engineers and infrastructure engineers were coming towards the cloud and data center, right? But now the things have changed. Cloud is an independent platform, all right? And to just to give you a little more, to make it a little more light, I can tell you, like, when previously 7-8 years back, when it was purely work on data center, the network engineers were present in the data center, walking around the data center, working with the servers. They used to carry the laptop, connect to the server and work on it, right? So they were spending time with servers itself. It was not so romantic or not so, colorful at that time. But right now, everybody are chilling out. They're working in regular IT offices. So it's a very nice work. It's a very good job. So you can definitely be, don't worry about it. You can become, yes.
Are there any eligibilities for joining this course? Like this should be there.
Your interest,
Okay.
your determination, your urge, that is all the eligibility. Because we start with absolute basics. I start with absolute basics. You can attend my session. I take you as if you don't know anything about cloud, anything about networking, anything. Even I'm taking, say, for example, I'll give you, just because one of you has asked me about networking basics, IPv4, IPv6 addresses, CIDR block, classes in the inter-domain routing, networking architecture. These are very essential for cloud understanding. But I even train this. I even teach this in my regular sessions. Networking basics is absolutely provided from my end. When I train it, even from our end, in the notes, everything, you will get it. Don't worry about it. Okay?
So where can, just a second, where we can get the AWS console?
Okay. See, AWS Management Console is available online. You just type in AWS Management Console, sign in. You'll be able to, it'll take you there. You will pop up, the Google will pop up with that link and you can go. But please don't work on it or don't create an account without a trainer's guidance, please. Because I'll tell you, like, AWS Console can charge you huge amount of money. Okay. So we have seen students getting billing of 50,000, 90,000, 1.4 lakh, 1.5 lakh. Okay, just because they started few services and it is running. And the console will be opening up only if you add your debit or credit card, if you attach it. Okay, and you need to pay 2 rupees. If you are from India, there's 2 rupees which will be deducted. It will be again transferred back to you. That's how the the account gets activated. If you are from United States or European countries, it's $1. That's how it's get activated. Okay, let's keep that aside. But I'm just telling you, do not try it on your own. Please, get some trainers or somebody who are aware of this console. Okay.
There is one from, I have 10 plus years of experience in different technology. Is it possible for me to shift to cloud technology now, or will it cause any issue in finding a new job for the experience I have?
Yes, Ikram. So see, people with 15 years, 20 years experience are shifting their technology to cloud. See, I trained somebody, actually last year from another edutech company actually, and he's a guy of 20 to 23 years, probably his engineering. So he recommended one of his uncle and aunt who are in United States, 50 plus. They're 20, 25 years experienced people, and they were in one of the top management positions and top in like board of directors, everything. They are going to head the cloud vertical in their company. So they were just asked to do one of the certification, cloud certification, and they are ready to learn at age of 50. And I really appreciate their enthusiasm and interest. And trust me, I've just taken probably 3 to 4 weeks of time. And at the end of 3 to 4 weeks, fourth week, I shared with them my notes. I shared with them the notes we have and the questions, cloud practitioner questions. He has given the exam and he has passed the exam. He called me up. He was so much happy, saying me that I should spend so much money over here and we don't even get the right people to train here. And you just did this effortlessly. No, it is all their efforts, right? So we are seeing hundreds and thousands of candidates passing the certifications, getting jobs and transforming their life, their family's life and everything around it. So please don't think 10 years is nothing. Like I mean to say, 10 years you have worked. You should be proud of it. You have worked in one field. Now you are transforming to another field, which is working better, right? Life is all about adaptation. So you go to a new technology. This is going to change your life, definitely. And I'm here to help you. Do not think twice about it.
Thank you so much for that. There is one question, like maybe I can relate this also. I'm a Scrum Master, so will it benefit me? So there are few, like, see, we do get lot of things from a framework kind, right? Like I'm a product owner, product manager kind. So how these technology based certifications or these will help me? So a lot of questions over that. So just give us a brief on that, please.
Scrum, I really have very good reviews about Scrum Master. Some of my friends have done. So I feel you should be successful by now. You are a Scrum Master, right? But anyways, if you're really interested to come to cloud, as I told you, and one last thing, one of the insight I would like to add regarding cloud, right? Why is cloud? Why did I say that it is going to be there for next 2 or 3 decades for sure? Is because, see, cloud is an evolutionary technology. We were having on-premises data center. We are replacing the on-premises data centers with cloud. Okay, because cloud is providing us scaling, cloud is providing us flexibility, everything. Now we do not see any need, or we do not see any other technology which is replacing cloud as of today. Cloud itself is having hundreds of data centers, thousands of other servers, everything in each data center. So we can see that today's requirement and coming requirement in next 5 years, 10 years, whatever technologies are coming in, cloud is definitely there to support. So that is why switching to cloud, if you want to switch, it's a very good thing. Please, you can make the decision. It's your decision. You can make it. If you are making it, we'll be there to help.
Thank you so much. Maybe one last question here. What is elastic transcoder? So.
Okay, that is a technical question again. But why do we need that now? I just asking. So questions related to the course, everything I can take. Elastic transcoder we'll discuss when we are doing.
Maybe I'll just connect them, ask them to have a one-on-one with you, and
please,
we can
arrange.
Yeah. Sure, we will get back on that. So hope all you guys had a very fantastic session on AWS, and we would love to hear back from you guys. Write us a mail or a note about the session, and then
just one moment.
You guys on the session. Yes, please.
I'm sorry. I don't. I'm feeling some. Let me answer that question. Elastic transcoder is actually used in one of the coding techniques. We call it elastic because you can scale in and scale out. You can increase the capacity, decrease the capacity very easily. And it's one of the services which we are using on the cloud also. More about it, application, hands-on, everything we'll be discussing. But elastic transcoder is not one of the main service of solution architect. It is used for other applications. Okay. That is what I can tell you about it. I hope that's answered.
Sure. Yep. Thank you so much. And maybe we have not yet announced the quiz winners. Hope you did not get any question. You had something else, Praveen?
No. I really thank Knowledgehut for this opportunity. I thank Chaitra and Soumya. They have been there so much helpful for all these days, and right now supporting me. Thank you so much, Chaitra. Thank you, Soumya.
Thank you. And let us announce the quiz winners. So first quiz winner is Shatish, Kshitish. So that is his name. And then the second quiz winner name is Kumar Mishra. So we'll be sending out to these two guys email with a surprise voucher via mail. And thank you guys for participating. Maybe attend more of these master classes to upskill or knowledge, to upskill your knowledges, and then attend our courses online, offline. Get back to us with any of the queries. We would be happy to assist you on that, and we can have an one-on-one with engage Praveen in any of your one-on-one if in case you need, and for your enterprise also, like if any business need. So please do write back to us. We would be happy to help you on that.
And just to clarify,
was happy, and then you guys had a lot of insights and takeaways. Yes, Praveen.
Just to clarify one thing, the quiz result, most of you have given right answers, but the quiz result is that who has given the fastest answer.
Yes.
So
fastest finger first. Please don't mind. Like almost everyone had given the answers, but this was first who had given the right answer.
Just to clarify that, and thank you so much for all of you for taking out this time on a weekend. And I hope your time that you spent is worth. And we'll see you further in sessions. Hope to see you in further sessions. Thank you so much.
Yes. We'll be sending a feedback also. I think Soumya is ready with the feedback poll. So please do rate us here, which will help us improve on all perspective. Lovely to see these answers. Excellent. Good. Met my expectation, and Praveen has made us taken the session very well, and then we would love to attend his session, is what everyone are telling Praveen. So hope you'll be getting a few sessions and a few attendees from this masterclass also.
Sure. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend, long weekend. We do have Sunday, and May 1st is most of you holidays, and then hope already a few of them have started their weekends.
Chaitra,
So enjoy your
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Lastly, someone has asked, the question was not answered. I see one.
Maybe my question was not answered. We will get back to you, Serha. So can you just put in the question? I think it was most on, maybe I can just retake that. Okay, it was most on thanks. Will you recommend networking specialty best?
Yeah, so
Was
networking
that the
specialty.
question, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, let me keep it very short. So networking specialty is a specialty, certification. After you do your solutions architect associate level, you can either go for a professional certification or go for a specialty certification. It is totally up to you. I mean, right now with solutions architect itself, you will have good amount of knowledge on networking as well. But if you want to channelize very clearly, I want to work on cloud only on networking. I do not want to go for as a data, AWS data engineer or something like that. Then you can go towards networking specialty. I say, keep your options open. You can do solutions architect right now. Work on different, different job roles. You can increase your knowledge and then decide your course. Okay, that I can say that.
Okay, thank you for bringing in that, Praveen, and hope everyone's answers are cleared, and then happy weekend. Thank you so much for spending the time. Thank you, Praveen, and thank you, Soumya.
You.